Hello, welcome back to the Jackass Collective Jester make-along. Maybe I missed a few weeks there. Listen, there was a death in the family, had to do some traveling. It is what it is. We're back, working on our project. I've been loving seeing what you guys are tagging me in on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. You can always tag me and stuff on TikTok, but that app just pisses me off in general. So, Jackass Collective on Instagram, on TikTok. My posture is absolutely rotten. What is this? Welcome to my living room. This is my make-along nest, if you will, for this weekend. The weather, rotten. So gross. So outside right now. No snow. We don't really get snow here, but just like wet and gray and boring. I have just some quick updates that I just took a couple like quick little clips over the last 2 weeks, so that I'm gonna put those right here. Big day for the blocking mats. I finished my pullover that I made with all of my hand-dyed yarn, and I got those hats finished up and blocked, and I made some handmade like kind of Christmas gifts for my mom. This cute little star, just with some like scrap fabrics. I don't know, someone on Instagram did one and it was really cute. An update on the sock. It is completely the wrong size, so let's frog it completely. No, I didn't have to frog it completely. I just frogged it to the ribbing, like right around the ankle before the heel flap, because I just did too many decreases so I could save the main calf ribbing, thank God, because this is a big ass sock for a man foot and I didn't want to frog it all. Like I said, nothing crazy. I was really not focused on fiber arts the past like 2 weeks, but now that you're up to speed, let's get you back on track with what I've been up to this past week, okay? A lot of hand movements. Okay, so I don't know if I've mentioned this. I can't remember what I've talked about recently, but I have been struggling with the increases because it's an increase every third row, and that's throwing me off because it's not like sometimes it's a purl side, sometimes it's a knit, like it's really throwing me off. So my increases are not at all, go show in the background, you already know. The increases are not like even or anything, and I feel like I haven't been marking this correctly. Like I haven't been, because you can't tell, but I've been down the side, there's like little pencil marks, which you can barely see, but I've been marking off the rows as I complete them just for some semblance of organization. So I either haven't been marking off my rows correctly and I'm actually like much higher up, or I've fucked up the increases so dramatically that I'm like 10 rows ahead of where I'm supposed to be, which I don't understand because I've been doing the increases every 4 rows. So technically I should be, well, I had been doing them every 4 rows because every 3 rows was really throwing me off, and I could not grasp the concept that, okay, sometimes it has to be a purl row increase. Anyways, so I think I just need to count the rows I've done. I don't know. I feel like it looks really cool. I am really struggling with the middle, like the zigzag sections. Oop, I'm caught. There's a lot of balls here. The zigzag sections, I'm really struggling with. They're not at all what they're supposed to be like. Doing the zigzags, like knit and purl rows, I'm really struggling with that, and I'm not looking forward to having to do this zigzag detail. Maybe it'll get easier, but I don't know, I'm not worried. It's not perfect, and it's not gonna be perfect. I've never been a perfectionist, never will be a perfectionist. Like there's so much going on with this sweater. I'm not worried about like 8 or 10 stitches being out of place. I'm not a perfectionist. I have been doing some, oh my God, can you even tell? I have been doing some floats just because it's a lot of fucking bobbins, you guys. It's a lot of yarn here. And so it is nice to just eliminate like 2 or 3 balls of yarn where I can do that. It's depression season, baby. I don't know. It's a lot. There's a lot happening. Like, this is what we're talking here. I went and grabbed the full color work chart because along the side it does have like the stitch count, whereas I've cut this out so the stitch count isn't there. I'm on row 67 and I am behind on the increases, so that actually does check out. So I've been marking these off, like I'm marked off to like right here. Can you even see this? And I'm actually like up here. So that's reassuring. I mean that it worked out that quickly, but I don't know about that. So I should have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those little 1, 2, 3. See, I only have 3. I don't understand. I don't understand. I should have 4 of these, but I have 2.5. But I'm on the 67th row. Surely I'm the problem here, but I don't understand. I hate charted patterns. I hate charted color work. Why is it so confusing? There's just a lot going on here. And I'm in a fucking depressive episode. I think it's fine. At this point, I'm not even really looking at the chart. I'm just kind of going with the flow of it, which is maybe why my zigzag sections are looking a little wonky. You know what I mean? I gotta bleach my eyebrows. Wow. So I think I need to... I don't even know. Like, I'm very confused. 60? I frogged back. I've got my... This is like a row counter. This came off my vintage knitting machine. I use this to count rows. It's meant to like slide, so as the carriage goes by, it like knocks this. But I will be, whoa, I'm just gonna use it manually to count the rows in this. I think that'll be easier than like, you can't, let's get that in frame. My little like pencil marks, I think those were not helping. This is a very, very, very tiny graph, okay? I think this will be a little bit more helpful. We're locked in. We're watching Ghost Adventures. This section is said to be cursed. Ooh. I added some Christmas lights. Wow, so festive. What do you mean it's December 1st? I gotta pay rent again? Damn. Anyways, I'm gonna watch The Grinch. Back to the couch, bleach on the eyebrows. The dryer is running. I bought some fabrics, so I'm pre-washing those. They're also from the thrift store, so we're washing that. I'm gonna show you those once the dryer is done, but I wanted to show you where I'm at now after I frogged all of that work. I'm glad I did frog it because there's a tiny little spider on the roof. Hey girl. I'm glad I frogged everything because my zigzag sections were very messed up. So this is looking much better now. There is a couple stitches out of place, but like, I don't know what it's not gonna be perfect, right? Like there's a lot happening here. The zigzags look great on both sides. I completely messed up the ones on the side, didn't even realize. Everything looks great over here. These sections in the middle, like this middle section, and then the yellow and blue zigzag, and the mustard and green zigzag, I did stranded color work here. This is where I was avoiding those extra bobbins when necessary. Like if this could just be 2 instead of 4, that's fine, that's great. And like down the middle here, this was super annoying to do stranded, but I did it anyways. The tension is very wonky in the middle, but it'll block out, it's fine. Really glad that I frogged everything. It looks much better now, and I would recommend using some sort of stitch counter for sure. Organization is definitely required here, unfortunately, but it's kind of nice. Like everything is very intentional, and I'm enjoying that a lot. So that's where we're at. I'm now at the section where I'm gonna start the bodies. You know, I got their little like fists done, their little itty bitty fists, and I'm doing it in the, like, what will we call this? Like a plum color that we dyed up in week 2, maybe. And I think this is gonna be kind of my like accent color. So for obviously the fists, and then when we're doing these, like, you know, their little fuck ass like ruffly collars, I really don't know what I'm gonna do there, but I colored in the contrast with like the main pink that I'm gonna be using here. I think I might do it in this one, and I don't know. I'm excited for this section because it's way less bobbins. Because it's way less bobbins? Is that proper English? I'm not sure. But I'm excited for this section because it's pretty chill, and looking like going up, everything past here is more chill. So I'm excited about that, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this, honestly. The loose ends, the loose ends, bitch. This is like, weaving in the ends is gonna be an entire project altogether. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. I am happy that I did redo it. It's crazy. And I don't know if we talked about the bottom here. I did opt out of, I think we talked about this in like week 1. I opted out of the details. Where is it? I'll just show you on this. This is bigger. There is like the contrast against the zigzag and the little like dots, which I didn't do. We're gonna duplicate stitch them later. That just seemed like an unnecessary amount of work. I do despise duplicate stitch, but I think duplicate stitching a couple little, that's fine. And then I'll probably just surface crochet the other details, honestly. Oh, the other thing I was gonna say was, the first time I did this panel, I didn't do this middle thing here. I'm not entirely sure why there is this section here. I altered it, obviously. This is very, very detailed, and like, it's so, I just was not in the mood for that, so I simplified it the same way that I simplified this bottom chunk down here, okay? I just did the stripes of, oops, out of frame. You see how I just did the same thing? Like, I just simplified it the same way. I was not vibing with that. I'm gonna call that a clusterfuck of a section, okay? Too much for me. That's the other thing I did modify. That's what I forgot to say. So I'm very happy with that. I'm gonna watch the dryer dry, and I'm gonna show you some of the fabrics that I got. I might just show them to you wet because I have a really big blanket in the dryer. Anyways, back to those fabrics we talked about. I know how to sew. I think I've mentioned that here. And it is sewing season. Fall, winter, I really get into sewing. So I have a bunch of vintage patterns that I have gotten secondhand, and I cut a bunch of them out so that I could actually use them. I find it easy to like spontaneously start sewing something if the pattern is already cut out. So I did cut out, okay. Yeah, great quality. Yeah, it's a duffel bag. It's a duffel bag. It's a duffel bag. It's not that exciting. And then I also cut out a pattern for these right here. The lighting is awful. Hello? Better. This little handbag down here. It's very cute, if you will. And then there was another one. Oh yeah. This is technically, like, I think it's technically, let's try this again with the lighting. This is technically a coin purse, like that's it folded up, but I like the shape of it when it's open. I need a solution for all of my double pointed needles and my regular knitting needles. They're over there somewhere, don't ask. And they're just not accessible right now. So I like the shape of this, and I think I'm just gonna add some elastic down it, and then I can put the needles in along. It's for another day, right? Project for another day. But I was looking, this is not in focus. I was looking for fabrics to do some like simple sewing projects, to dip my toe back into sewing. We'll talk about that another day. It's late. We gotta wrap this up. So I found this blanket, which I have hanging on the door, which I thought was really cute, very celestial. Is it in focus? I don't know. Double-sided. And I don't think this is gonna be for any of the projects that I just showed you. This is like a very like flimsy, drapey blanket, and I wanted, specifically for the duffel bag, I wanted something a little bit thicker. And this is, again, it's like a drapey blanket. It's made of acrylic, I think, so I wouldn't make it into a wearable. I do not enjoy working or like wearing acrylic. So I will turn this into a bag of some sort. I'll have to look through all of these patterns I have and see if there's a bag that I could turn this into. Maybe just like a drawstring bag, nothing crazy. And then I just grabbed 2 pillowcases that match the yellow, just so I have some lining fabric on hand, and these can go into the fabric stash together. They're clean, they just came out of the dryer. We're plotting and scheming for my sewing projects. Here's where we're at. This section is flying by. I'm getting like the main body done here. I do have to frog back a row. I forgot to start the collar. This is where I'm at. So I do need to frog back a row. I ended up using some hand spun yarn for the details here, just because I have like some tiny little amounts. This is nice to use them up. And then I think for the collars, I'm gonna use this pink from Long Way Homestead just so it pops. I think that'd be really pretty. And that's where we're at right now. The dryer's on, sorry. Whew. I do have to get ready to go to work tomorrow. Boo. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Sorry, that dryer is really obnoxious. I'll keep it quick. I wanted to go through and show off some of the things that you guys have been tagging me in and what you guys are making for the make along. However, I don't feel like editing all that right now. I'll do that next week. Next week's video will be what you guys have been making. So make sure you're tagging me on Instagram. You can just DM me photos directly and like yap about your project. I love hearing what you guys are making. And yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry about the wee little gap in uploads, but I will see you next week. We'll see you next week. Fully rested. Sure. Okay, bye.